Alright, hello everyone and welcome to Solarflare vs Urfgurgle, round 5 of ORAS LT. I haven't seen the series and I don't know the result, so I only opened the first 3 replays, because that's how our spoilerless replays channel works. You know that there's gonna be 3 games for sure. Then I'll go into the Discord, the Pepper Business Discord, and open games 4 and 5 if they happen. So this is Losers Bracket round 5. Solar and Earth already played earlier this tour, round 1 actually, and Solarflare won 3-0, pretty dominating. We'll see if it's a different story this time. So just going into game 1, see Blastoise, Victini, Zapdos, Charizard, Tarak, Wims. This team looks familiar, but I don't know. I mean, you see Zard, Tarak a lot. Normally you see a lot of Gardevoir instead of Wims, but yeah, looking at Solar's team, he loses to Charizard Mega X, so that's cool. What? Why does he lose to Charizard Mega X? He's running Sice's Zard counter and Zapdos. And Blastoise can like win, but it gets owned by Sub, and then Spadef wins. Or I mean Spadef Zard wins versus Blastoise too. But you can defeat Zard Y with Zapdos at the very least, but like all of his Pokemon beat Zard Y. So, yeah. Really don't know how he defeats Charizard Mega X, but yeah. Unfortunately for Urfgurgle, he's probably Charizard Mega Y on this team, because Venu and Slowbro. I'm pretty sure Wims does not actually defeat Slowbro, but I could be wrong on that. I've been wrong before. It definitely doesn't beat Rest. But okay, so this is either like add a sub for Venu or Zardvi for Venu. Yeah, anyway. It could just be just a standard Zardex as well. And just discounts Venu. That's not a Mon Solar's brought. So there's that. Looking at the matchup, I don't really know what Earth sets are. Like, cause Victini doesn't really need to be a specific set. It could be... I think it hinges more on what the Zapdos is, whether it's Specs or some Subtox, but it's probably Specs, and the Victini's probably banned, so he has like a way to defeat Chansey and other physical attackers. But I mean, you can also be just weakness policy for that as well, but picking Gyarados into this team is stupid. Picking Heatran into this team is also kind of silly. There's that. I feel like in terms of pick, we'll probably see Zapdos or Blastoise, I think, from Earth. It's like Blastoise, try to beat Charizard, beat Tarak, and then Zapdos can beat Wims. And from Earth, I'd be a bit surprised to not see Charizard, but I feel like all 3 of Earth's Pokemon can come out here. Because Solar's team is just weird. He showed me this team too, but I didn't really gain that much information because it was just one random game. Anyway, let's see what happens. Victini Tarak. Victini? So I'm guessing it was like some sub-toxic Zapdos then, which loses to Wims. And so he went to Victini for Wims. And Earth just went Tarak. He definitely might have been Charizard Mega Y based on this pick. So I'm pretty confident he was Charizard Mega Y this game because of the Tarak pick into the Spec Zap. Or just any Zap. He kind of figured, Solar wouldn't go Blastoise, I guess. So yeah, well played by Earth. I wonder if this is like Scarf. Could be Scarf Tarak for Greninja. He doesn't lose to Torrents, but let's see what happens in this game. Well, Victini died. I think Scarf didn't know, but it's Solar, so you can't take anything from the LARP. I'm pretty sure Scarf does not KO Victini if it's bulky, but I could be arm sharing on that. I know there's a game there played in Seeded where it was an SM, but there was a Scarf Tarak Stone Edge that did not kill a Victini, Z Celebrate Victini. Those one pretty dang bulky. I don't know, so it could be banned, could be Scarf, but I'm just thinking about the Battaya Gren matchup. So sorry about that. But I won't dwell on it too much longer, and I'll move on to the next game. Urfgurgle up 1-0. Okay. So game 2, we see 2 Dragonites and a Victini. Then we see this is an LRXC team. I'll tell you this for sure. And a Fancy. And then this is like Facade Swampert for Gardevoir, and then he's Trick Room Guard or Charizard. Because like he has Swampert, which does okay versus a lot of X sets, and then Chansey, which defeats Charizard Y, and he has Guard to like defeat or like try to defeat all Charizards. You lose to like Modest, then you lose to some. There's like some other line where if they DD, or no, if they regular Flare Blitz turn 1, Charizard X can win because it's a 50-50 turn 2 after the Trick Room. And then it's a 50-50 turn 3 if they just encore the Flare Blitz. And the Zard stays regular. But anyway, there's no Charizard on the field, which is mistake number 1 by both players. But yeah, like Urfgurgle, man, he loses. Or, I mean, this is Solar, not Urfgurgle. This man loses to Charizard. So 2 Dragonites Victini. So the Victini is definitely weakest policy on this one because Gyarados. And Heatran. It's kind of notable. So LRXC used double Dragonite as well, and when he used it, he had one was Specs and one was Sub DD as a Mawile counter and try to defeat Charizard. But I feel like Urfgurgle is gonna run. I mean, he could just beat those 2 as well. I feel like Urfgurgle could be running Scarf on one of them. Well, one of them special for sure. You always run like. I think when you run Double Dina, you always want to run Specs on one of them, or some special set at least. And then the other one should be either Scarf. It can probably be Scarf on this version, because LRXC had a Mawile, but Urfgurgle needs Scarf for Greninja at Choice Specs. But I mean, when you run this, it's like kind of hard to be everything. So it's kind of me armchairing. I said the Skill Swap Victini for Heatran, but it could definitely just be Scarf D-Knight. It's Skill Swap Victini for Garrett anyway, but kind of a cool team, but I really don't like doubles. Double D-Knight's a decent way to do it, I think, but I think Specs D-Knight's just too underwhelming for it to be very effective. But it's like okay, it's cool. Anyway, when you look at the matchup, Swampert's very good if it was standard EQ Ice Beam, but Urfgurgle is not because this is the Logan team with Facade. I don't remember what movie has Facade over. I think it's Ice Beam. And so Swampert a threat. And then Urfgurgle doesn't pick Gardevoir because of Ironhead D-Knight. He could go with Chansey just as like you could think Solar's probably gonna go into his D-Knight that beats Swampert. So like Specs, then they go Chansey and win. So I'm gonna say like the special D-Knight into Chansey. Okay, so we do see a Dragonite come out into Chansey, okay. Yeah, Victini's kind of an awkward pick when you have this. When you have Swampert. Yeah, let's play. Earth probably counters turn 1 in case of Scarf/ban. I think it has to be banned to actually like win, but should probably counter turn 1 regardless. Oh, we see Sub. So Sub DD could be trouble. Let's see. That's a Hurricane. What? Sub Hurricane? Is this really where we're at? What? Let's not put this game on fast. Oh, hyper fast. So this isn't. It's not metronome. I'll say this. It's also 400 HP. It's like 399 HP too. What are these EVs? Like the price cost at 26, so that's like slightly below 400. All right. Well, Urfgurgle wins game 2. Pretty I wonder if that even beat Swampert. I mean, it probably did. I wonder what set that was. I don't know what item it was because it wasn't Metronome. Metronome is something that Stom has ran unironically. Well, it was ironically, but he's ran it. I mean, it's like a meme, but he ran it. That was what I mean. But yeah, so Solar goes down 2-0. This is gonna be a 3-0. We'll see. Find out next game. So we see Conk, Mellow, Tran, Urf brought the same team. I feel like the sets on this team are pretty apparent. Just AV Conk, Specs Mellow, and probably Balloon Tran. Probably doesn't have to be Balloon Tran, but he probably is Balloon Tran. I feel like that's the only Tran that Solarflare runs. So, if it was a standard Gardevoir, it'd be kind of good here. Loses to Heatran. Mellow's pretty threatening. I don't know if it kills Swampert with Hyper Beam, but I feel like it does because that's the Mellow what I had choice specs. Maybe Conk might probably beat Swampert, but might unironically lose to Chansey, as opposed to ironically. Heatran beats Guard. I think Urf, knowing that he's tricked from Guard, I think he's gonna go Swampert. There's a chance that I feel like Hyper Beam might just not kill as well. Thing is, because it's the LRXC team, he probably has some Swampert DBs that makes him live the Hyper Beam from Mellow. He wouldn't just lose to it. I don't think he would just lose to it. This is like a team that LRXC really liked as well. Like he just... And then on those teams, he generally tends to beat most of the metagame. Or the relevant mods in the metagame at least. So, I'm gonna say Swampert here from Urf, and then I don't think it's gonna matter from Solar if it's EV'd for Specs Mellow. I mean, he could go Conk. Conk is potential. Let's see. So I think I'm gonna say Conk or Mellow into Swampert. Okay, Mellow. Okay, Swampert. So granted that Hyper Beam doesn't kill, maybe it's better to click Uproar. Uproar probably doesn't do any damage though, because if it's spit F for Hyper Beam, you definitely do that to a KO. But the thing is, well, I was thinking Uproar because Uproar prevents a yawn from going off, but I don't think Urfgurgle has a reason to yawn necessarily. I think he just EQs, and then if the Mellow with a Hyper Beams and then it specs, then he can just click yawn the turn after, and then that's like fine. That's my prediction. Slash at 51! Okay, so he just yawns turn 1, that's fine. Text 51, bruh. Alright, let's see how the sleep turns shake out. Oh, wake up. 50-45. Gone. Alright, well that's kinda might be unfortunate rolls for Solar. I don't know, I feel like that Psyshock was like a max roll. Swampert's like this big body Swampert. Damn, Earth 3-0'd him. Rip Solar. I'm just gonna say I was LARPing game 2. I knew that he had a Hurricane D-Knight, but yeah. I was LARPing game 2 because I saw his game 2 team as well. But, like, I don't know what that D-Knight set was still. He revealed only Hurricane when I played him as well. So I'll just give that side note as this recording's over. Well, it's not over quite yet. I still need to say thank you to Mr. Solarflare Romania for playing in the tour. And Urfgurgle moves on to the next round. He'll play the winner of Potato Champ versus Sayuze. Yeah. Kind of an interesting series for a 3-0. And thanks for watching. Peace. Wait, that's the pause replay, not the pause recording. Keck W.